Hey, I am Walter Anderson from USA, and welcome to the AETHERIA. Egypt's sacred homeland has been missing for 4,000 years. We may have just found it. The ancient Egyptians built the pyramids. They mapped the stars. They preserved their dead for eternity. But for over 4,000 years, they kept one secret so deep that even modern science couldn't crack it: the location of their most sacred place on Earth. They called it Ta-Nejter, in English, the land of the gods. They believed their entire civilization was born there. Pharaohs sent massive fleets to reach it. Queens risked everything to visit it. And then, it simply vanished from history. This is the story of Punt, Egypt's lost homeland, and the shocking clue hidden inside a mummified baboon that may have finally found it. To understand why Punt matters, you have to understand how the Egyptians felt about it. This wasn't just a trading partner. For the ancient Egyptians, Punt was more than just a trading partner. It was considered a sacred homeland, almost a divine gift from the gods, and a key part of their civilization's roots. Over 50 hieroglyphic inscriptions relating to Punt describe it as a sacred religious place. They called it Ta-Nejter, literally God's land. Think about that. A civilization that built temples to dozens of gods had one place on earth they considered divine above all others, and we have no idea where it is. The earliest hieroglyphic description of an Egyptian expedition to Punt comes from the Palermo stone. It records that 80,000 measures of a particular type of incense, among other items, were brought to Egypt during the reign of Sahure, the second pharaoh of the 5th dynasty. That was around 2450 BC. For context, that's 500 years before Tutankhamun was even born. So what did Punt have that Egypt couldn't live without? Egyptian scribes documented shipments of aromatic myrrh, gleaming gold, rich ebony wood, and exotic animals that prowled temple courtyards. But also something even more extraordinary: living trees, entire trees, roots and all, loaded onto ships and transported across the sea. It had never been done before in recorded human history. The most famous journey to Punt happened around 1470 BC, and it was led by someone history almost erased entirely: Queen Hatshepsut, one of the few female pharaohs in Egyptian history, a woman who ruled one of the most powerful empires on earth and dressed as a man to do it. Records of Queen Hatshepsut's legendary expedition to Punt are found on the walls of her temple at Deir el-Bahri. The relief depicts a large voyage of 5 vessels, each with about 30 crewmen. Living frankincense trees are shown being transported to cargo ships. 4 to 6 men were needed to carry each of the 31 heavy incense trees on board. This marks the first known successful attempt at transplanting foreign fauna. Think about that image. Dozens of soldiers carefully carrying trees, roots wrapped, branches intact, through the blazing African sun onto wooden ships across the open sea. This wasn't just a trade mission. This was an obsession. Hatshepsut had the trees planted in the courts of her mortuary temple complex, where they thrived. The first time in recorded history that anyone had successfully transplanted foreign trees. And the carvings she left behind are so detailed, they became an archaeological gold mine. The fish in the ocean are so detailed that an ichthyologist from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography was able to identify exactly which species they encountered. And those fish are found in the Red Sea. These weren't myths. This was a real place. So if it was real, where is it? This is where things get fascinating and controversial. The location of Punt has been a subject of debate for over 150 years. Scholars have long speculated about its precise location, with theories ranging from the Horn of Africa to the Great Lakes region of Africa. Wide speculation about the location of Punt have resulted in proposals spanning Libya, Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia, southern Arabia, and even the island of Sumatra in Indonesia. Some have even linked it to the mysterious island kingdom of Atlantis, written about by Plato. Sumatra, Atlantis, the Great Lakes. Scholars have been all over the map, literally, because Punt left almost no trace of itself. No ruins, no confirmed artifacts, no city walls rising from the sand. It's as if the entire civilization simply dissolved. Trade with the Kingdom of Punt continued into Egypt's New Kingdom era. But over time, regional politics and empire building took priority over dangerous long-distance trade. By about 1100 BC, Punt had once again become a lost land of mystery. A civilization Egypt depended on for over 1,000 years, gone, completely, without a trace. For centuries, the answer seemed impossible to find, until scientists started looking at something nobody expected: mummified baboons. In ancient Egypt, baboons were sacred. Since the beginning of the Pharaonic era, records talk about the trading activities between Egypt and Punt, and among the most prized imports were live baboons. There are no native baboons in Egypt. Every single one had to be imported from Punt. In 2010, researchers studied hair samples from 3,000-year-old mummified baboons found in the tombs of the Valley of the Kings. Scientists believed for decades that mummification destroyed all DNA, making this analysis impossible. But new technology changed everything. Paleogeneticists had long believed it was impossible to get DNA from mummified baboons because mummification destroys all the DNA. This was a long-held belief that only changed in the past 10 to 15 years with the introduction of new DNA technology. And when they finally cracked the genetic code of those ancient animals, the result was extraordinary. One particular baboon, a female, had salvageable DNA, which was traced to the Adulis region, an ancient port city on the Red Sea in present-day Eritrea. Although the study does not close the book on the location of Punt, it almost certainly places it in what is now Eritrea. A 3,000-year-old mummified animal, pointing to a specific coastline, in a country most people couldn't find on a map. This is how history gets rewritten. The Land of Punt, Egypt's sacred homeland, source of its gold, its incense, its gods, may have been sitting quietly on the shores of Eritrea this whole time, waiting. Hidden not under sand, but under the weight of forgotten time. And if the DNA evidence holds, somewhere beneath that coastline may lie the ruins of a civilization that shaped the greatest empire the ancient world ever knew. We just haven't dug deep enough yet. What do you think? Is Punt still out there waiting to be found? Drop it in the comments. And if this story fascinated you, you've never seen anything like what's coming next.